Well, just like El Arroyo, a Tex-Mex cafe down in Austin, Texas, I'm here to tell you too that this too shall pass. It might pass like a kidney stone, but it'll pass. All right, and I think it'll pass about November for a reason. We'll talk about that a little bit. We're going to go through some memes here and just what people are saying. It just kind of opens up reality a little bit. So it's that thing when you create an independent communist state inside Seattle and run out of food on day 2. La-di da-di da-di. Achievement unlocked. Ding! Peak communism achieved. Winning? Yeah, they tried to make a garden and they literally took some dirt from another place and put it on top of boards that they tore up of other signs and stuff where people had boarded up windows and put it down on the ground so nothing could root whatsoever. You look at one of those plots and farms that they have there, and it actually tells you that it's for black people and indigenous people. Yeah, and so they have segregated farming already. But in that farm right there, they've got tulips and other stuff that they stole out of people's gardens and stuff, just stuck them there. And they're not, that's not, you know, even be able to eat it. And you look at the amount of food they're trying to produce, and it couldn't keep one person alive for a series of days, and we'd have to wait to the point that it became ripe, if any of it can even make it. Yeah, yeah. Somebody made a video. It was like showed redneck hicks farming in these giant John Deere tractors and making America move, and then showing these progressive gimps and how they're just so knowledgeable in their little garden. It was a segregated garden. Remember when we said wait until the participation trophy kids grow up? Well, welcome to 2020. Think about that. Democrats clarify that black lives will only matter until November. After then, they're definitely out of the game, and they clarify they'll matter only till November. A team of political experts released its latest prediction on the Black Lives Matter movement today, saying the group's current surge will die off shortly after the election. And here you can see where she was pandering. And one guy made a cool video. It's like Black Panther, but it's called Black Pander, and it shows them kneeling down, and then they can't even get up and stuff. And Nadler wouldn't even actually kneel down. He is incapable. But what's terrible is these sashes that they wore to try to indicate that they were woke now are kente cloth from a tribe that has to do with Kunta Kinte, which is from Roots, if you've ever seen it, and it's the black slavery type movie that was supposed to kick off white guilt somehow. But if you'll look, the black people are catching and selling their own people off like a drive-through slave mart. And those Kente people, well, first of all, Alex Haley stole that story from a white man, and he had to pay reparations to him pretty harshly. Look it up. There's got stories all on it. But Kente people were those people that were collecting and catching people and selling off their own people like a commodity. So, yeah, that's really just doesn't look good. So they need to have somebody look into things a little more. Of course, black people use these same cloths and everything, and they don't even know what it means. So, so here we have a meme about Trump and the Dems, and how when the riots start with the fires and he tries to bring law and order to the situation, they are putting gasoline on the fire and meanwhile calling him a racist, trying to hobble him so he can't stop it, and saying that he was going to send in the National Guard and just stop this real quick and everything, and everybody goes, oh, 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 ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, it was terrible. Yeah, so Here's what it kind of looks like when Biden is sitting there in Biden 2020. I'll just kick back and let Trump be Trump. As the radicals and the socialism and extreme left and defund police start attacking at him, they're going to try to keep him from speaking. I would like to thank those who came up with the phrase politically correct for giving us a nation full of whiny ass pansies who have no common sense nor pride. Ding! Here's people fighting. People saying statues are racists. People saying statues aren't racist. And then there's a guy just sitting here somehow through this whole thing, and he was just thinking they were always a waste of taxpayer dollars. And that may be one thing and true, but there's also a reason for them and heritage and things like that. And you'd say, well, you know, Robert E. Lee and all those, they should go in Columbus. Why should Columbus go? He discovered America. Why should Robert E. Lee go? So we totally forget what happened and try to recourse it somehow? A lot of these things just shoot you in the foot. It's kind of stupid and foolish. There's a video out where this guy shows somebody with a drone that flew around the William Penn, and he's on the top of one of the Capitol buildings, and the guy, what is showing the video, just says, "Come get me, fuckers." It's hilarious. The dancing TikTok nurses told me I was going to murder my grandparents if I had friends over to grill out. Yes, they said this as a news article. Yet they condone this. You can't see a space between people. It is hellish. And right here at one of the Capitol buildings, yet the news media condoned this and said it's a great and fantastic thing all these people are doing, and they forgot all about COVID-19, sure didn't they? And they decided that was just what the hell. And then Trump says, well, if you're what the hellin' about it, then I'll have my rally. And they went, oh, da, 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 da. And he threw it in their face. Showed how they're fake news again. Some people catch it, but of course the Trump haters just can't seem to think straight, and they keep fueling on it. And it's like, look at the hypocrisy that you have going on. I can cram my, oh, well, we're doing it for, no, we're doing it. Doesn't matter if you're doing it for watching a golf tournament, or if you're doing it for Orange Man Bad, or if you're doing it for Orange Man Good. You're doing it. There is no way around that. Be for certain on that. And there is no two-faced, this is a noble, great thing these people are doing as they're setting fire on them. There's a guy that's got a video out where the reporters at CNN, I believe it is, are trying desperately to get you to believe that this is all a peaceful protest. Meanwhile, they get pelted and beat up. Let that sink in a second. Stay out of our autonomous zone, but send supplies and stuff and cookies. The land of Chaz. In the land of Chaz, they got dummies and nothing and no common sense. You mean you didn't hear about this in the mainstream media? Well, how about hearing this? I'm Ray Shard Brooks. He's the Wendy's guy that got killed. I was sentenced to 7 years for beating my kids and wife, I believe, but was out on parole early due to COVID-19. I want to think about that whenever they started releasing all those people. They're not going to tell you this. I drove drunk to Wendy's. Passed out in the parking lot. When a cop tried to arrest me for my second DUI, I took his taser, fought him, hit him, assaulted him, took his taser and fired it at his face, because I knew that I'd be sent back to jail and don't want to be sent back to jail. But now people are praising this guy, and they're trying to get the cop put in jail for having defended himself from this. Yeah. Oh, well, something happened and it doesn't look good because something else happened. First one was weak. The guy was supposedly a jogger, remember? And then he runs around the car and attacks the guy rather than doing any other possible action. People can't get past that point. And in court, they won't get past that point either. Just like on this, they won't get past the point where he didn't have to fight assault the officers, take the gun and try to shoot him at the face. But at the point of resist and fight, they already had the point they could have used tasers and done things. He pulls out the taser, says, I'll have to use it. The guy takes it and grabs it from him, beats him up and runs off with it. They started talking about how far he may have been apart from him. Like it would have been great if he was more than 20 foot apart, then you can't shoot him and the glove don't fit, must have quit or something. That there should be this animal thing that goes on where if it tries to get away, then, if it tries to get away and I'm chasing it and it tries to shoot at me, can I shoot at it? Well, yeah, but use a taser. He's got my taser. He just hit me and the other guy. Random thought today, the media have gone into a crisis mode about COVID-19, breathlessly stating that there's a surge in cases in 6 states that have reopened. Last I checked, there are 50 states in the U.S., all of which have eased up in varying levels on lockdown restrictions. So what does that tell you? Even if the number on the 6 cases are right. Here they are at the news desk. Fear of riots is on the decline. Switch back to Corona. Switch back to Corona. Remember that from the movie? Message of the day: when all the guns have been banned, when all the words have been censored, when all the history has been erased, when all the freedom has been taken, only then will you discover why our right to bear arms was so high on the list. Yes. I don't know why people think nowadays all of a sudden, oh, the founding forefathers were racist and so we need to change everything, whenever it's the only way we got to where we are. And those ideals have set forth a path that no other country can match up to. The envy of the known world, the best place in the world for black people to possibly grow up. Yep, no, it's not Africa. I mean, they won't go back to Africa, even though last year there was a movement for 400 years of slavery, and they built this whole little thing for them to come back. They didn't want to. Someplace reported, and I saw it in a video in Nigeria, that they had said that they had over 1,200 people to have come back. But less than 100 stayed. Like it was a visit. Some of those are probably still bitching about white people that had nothing to do with what went on with not them. Not my father, not yours. Not my grandfather, not yours. Not my great-grandfather, not yours. But before that, can you even name him? I can't. I know somebody that was related to us with another last name at that point. Candace Owens, y'all know her. She said there are millions of black people who wake up every day and do the right thing. And I'm sure there are. We do not riot. We do not loot. We do not do drugs. We do not disrespect law enforcement. There are a lot of black people that are like that. The only problem is there's a main contingent, and it's so much of it that it is a problem, and probably the problem. She says, we are tired of having our image tainted by the radical leftist anarchist Black Lives Matter movement. I'd agree. It's finally time for some people that are really truly woke in the black neighborhood to get a rein on it, because they're not going to listen to white people that heralded all of civilization. Can't listen to that anymore. White man bad, you see. So then she follows the tweet up with saying, we're tired of being told that we ain't black because we don't have the same time or desire to defend your criminal ass brother, cousin, or son just because he has the same complexion as us. So she's really going off on the fact that Black Lives Matter and they're just waiting for something to happen. And you remember the one down in Houston? If you don't, the girl got shot and everything. She said it was white guys in a truck and stuff like that that had shot her up. And she got basketball players to buy her kids group and everything. Then come to find out it wasn't white people, it was black people. And then all of a sudden it just went away and you didn't hear anymore. And you don't hear about the hundreds of black people that get killed every year. But if a white person ever does it to a black, oh my gosh. What if a black does it to a white? Because it happens so much more. But you don't hear about that. That's just normal. Really? This and many other things lie in the problem that probably needs to be discussed first before anything that worth of value could be discussed afterward. What do you think? Quotes of the day. As public health advocates, we do not condemn these gatherings as risky for COVID-19 transmission. So that's what they said about, whenever they're doing the riots, and they were all saying that they're peaceful while there were fires behind them. They go on. This should not be confused with a permissive stance on all gatherings, particular protest against stay-home orders. Double think means the power of holding two contradictory beliefs in one's mind simultaneously and accepting both of them. I believe that's George Orwell there in the 1984 thing. I don't know if they teach it in school anymore. They used to make us do that and Animal Farm. And our English teacher was all about it. Yeah. We had to read it and stuff and everything, so you learn definitely what not to do. It's kind of like watching Terminator, where you learn not to give autonomous computer things too much levity because they might push the button and do things that lead to trouble. So don't ever do that. And then people are trying to create something like that now. They're like, well, we're really, and it's like, seriously, people, can you look anywhere else but behind the box? Oh, what's behind the box? Shut up. Maybe you shouldn't mess with it. Anything but this. Understand? There's a lot of things like that. We found nuclear power. We don't see people going around going, I want to make fireworks. Big tech fascism update. Facebook claims that Hitler, founder of the German National Socialist Party, was not a socialist, and saying otherwise gets you censored or banned for a month. Let that sink in, that in the land of the free and freedom of speech is part of the writing for founders concept, that places like Facebook and YouTube itself and places can censor what you say. They find words offensive, and if they find their little algorithm that got going, if they find a couple of words in line here somehow, you have to do that. This is probably going to expound upon the part where people start spelling things weird way and putting periods in the middle of words and crap like that just so they can speak in America. Isn't that an odd thing? Well, they want to be extra sensitive right now. No, they don't. You should see what black people are saying and stuff and all kinds of these other things. Like if you make a video about Egypt and it shows they were blue-eyed Caucasian people from pre-dynastic, they really don't like that because they've taken to saying that they were the Egyptians. Yes, the West African primitives were the Egyptians, or so they want to believe. They believe themselves. They've got a delusion believing this, and or some of them just think it was some black people somewhere. But if you'll Google image blue-eyed Egyptians, you'll see these crystal blue-eyed statues that they had from the first and earliest dynasties, even pre-dynastic. Ginger, the pre-dynastic Ghibelline mummy, and so on. Look up reserve heads and you'll see that there. But got a few vids on that because they jumped at me and said, "Prove it, honky." And what am I, albino snow cave ape? They actually say that whites are just albino Negroes, and that we stole all their technology, and that they were supposed to be the spacemen. And you wonder if they have a problem that's causing their own problem. And no one wants to critique a black person. No, it's hard to do that, isn't it? But they don't seem to have any problem trying to do it to other people while never looking in a mirror. NBC goes on a monopolist to ask for action against two competitor outlets, and the monopolist agrees to ban them. This is the free market. Yeah, this is where NBC News here. Two far-right sites, Zero Hedge and The Federalist, will no longer be able to generate revenue from any advertisements served on by Google ads, and that they attacked these other places that are just side places, and they're trying to get it. See, because the problem is that no one's watching TV as much as they used to. When I was a kid, there was only a few channels, and MTV and all this stuff, and cable came on. And so whenever it did, you got all these other options, and now all of a sudden you're not listening to their directives anymore. And they don't like that. And then they have newspapers, but nobody's doing newspaper anymore, so they have to try to get it down your throat some way. And whenever you find that other people are making news outlets that can just do it from their kitchen, and they're getting more views, believe it or not, than the actual places that are trying so desperately to get your attention so they can lie to you and make you think odd things, they don't like that. No, they don't like that at all. Amazon doubles down on excluding some conservative nonprofits from customer donations. So, here's the thing on how to interpret polls, demographics, and all this type of thing, and it goes into it. And they tried to put a poll out, and they tried to say Biden's winning against these certain people, and y'all know that's BS in the first place. How could he possibly be winning? How could anybody be saying that they hate Trump so much they're willing to go with that gimp? He is just full of gaffes. Every time they get him on a camera, he either totally forgets what he's saying or he puts out a gaffe. In 2016, the majority of polls gave Mr. Trump no real chance to win, many never showing him leading Miss Clinton ever. And CNN chickened out in making any final estimates at all. And I don't know if you've ever seen a video where guys have clipped it together and put it together where they went around in all these places. They were saying Trump isn't going to do it. They tried to, at one of these party meetings, the dude from Saturday Night Live tried to say, I thought Trump was running as a joke. And it kind of went over kind of weird, but Trump was just looking like, you think I'm a joke? And he showed you joke. And then it shows where they are coming down to the line and starting to whine, and you can see them just starting contorting and changing and losing their mind. Oh, the one from Young Turks is just priceless. So that's one of 10 reasons that polls can't be trusted. So many people could have been saved. Another high-touted hydroxychloroquine studies turned out to be a joke. Association of American Physicians and Surgeons sues FDA for irrational interference of access to life-saving hydroxychloroquine. So, oops. Yeah, remember, all it took for that to go wrong was for Trump to come out and say that you could take it. And supposedly, some lady took fish cleaning stuff that has formaldehyde and all kinds of stuff in it that's for fish medication that you put a few caps in a whole pond and had her husband drink it. And apparently she drank enough to get sick but not die, but he died. She's being tried now, I believe. I don't know whatever happened to that. Some of these things, because so much has happened before, people don't realize what's down at the bottom of the popcorn. But remember when it all went pop pop? Remember Jussie Smollett? That they're trying to cover up so bad and say, well, this cancels out that. And it's like, no, it doesn't in any way. You're trying to blame a cop for a chokehold thing that doesn't even choke anybody. At worst, what it would do is cut off his carotid artery. They're not doing it the right way, and his face is turned the other way for it to even possibly do so. And if you cut off somebody's carotid artery, they go out in seconds. If you're trying to say that it took him 8 minutes and 30 seconds to cut off his blood flow, then what are you trying to say? So academia's push to fire even the few academics who don't toe the leftist line. Yeah, there's academics that have gotten in and started canceling other academics because they say things that don't go along with the current narrative. The wine thing. So here's the future of t-shirts, because you're going to have to wear stuff. You'll have a picture of you on your shirt so everybody will know it's you. Right? Because right now, everybody looks like a criminal. Isn't that great? Politicians, you're going to have to love our solutions. Here's a solution. It's a modern art piece from the land of Chaz. It's entitled Gimp Vomit. We are all in this together. This is what they say is they're yelling and hating the other people that they're saying they're in together. We're all in this to get her? Huh? Uh-huh. Dairy Queen. Help him keep a dad bod. Order a cake for Father's Day from Dairy Queen. Hey, it's Father's Day. My kids just went to church and they didn't wish me Father's Day. That's strange. They probably will this afternoon. Let's see if they get me a cake. I made a mention last night if she had any sweets. I made a mention this morning too if she had any cinnamon rolls. It's kind of a thing that we have whenever it's Father's Day. You get to kind of have the thing that you want for breakfast and things, but okay. We'll continue. Uh-oh. Who is this? LeBron James. Believe in something unless you are criticizing China. Do you remember when that happened? Flip-flop? What you don't know that is he's criticized all the owners of the football teams and stuff like that are actually slave driving, racist and everything, and it's because white people own the teams. Yeah, but 85% of the people on the teams are black. It's a Caucasian invented rubber, ball, net, parquet court, whole thing, all Caucasian game. But sure, hey, more power to you. Wait, no, hold on, what? When we give you the chance and hand you the ball, you take the ball and you start talking smack. This is somebody who could be vying for that greatest of all time that Kobe might have vied for if he kept going here and didn't have his accident. Jordan is going to be hard to beat, though, because he was humble enough and still goddamn great. Here we have a person that may even be greater, but his lack of humbleness makes him never going to be the GOAT. Just shut up and dribble. Waste of time political correctness is. Pussifies a nation, it does. That is why you fail. Democrats propose replacing all police with a traveling band of hippies singing Imagine from the Beatles. Tear down this monument of slavery then. Oh, they don't want to talk about that. Well, it's actually what keeps the nation going around, no matter which way you go about it. This is a pathetic version of 2020 America. We'll look back on this No telling how many years it'll take for us to look back and laugh and think of how disgusting it is. But it'll be one of those things we can't really laugh because it really happened, and really people did start thinking so much radical thoughts, and hate Trump thing and media got drawn people out to the point that stupid crap happened, and then they fueled the fire. Yeah, and the whole time leading up to it, the Dems kept trying to prosecute Trump whenever Trump had already figured out through their guys, whenever they investigated, like, what the hell is this all about? That it was the Dems, including Barack Obama, that were investigating Trump and using the president's stuff to do so. This is very much a Watergate type thing. Not too impressive. Hope everyone feels safer now that you've disarmed two cartoons. Yeah, I don't know if you know it, but Elmer Fudd and something else they took it out of. So if I was to say, give me something for Elmer Fudd, you'd be like, shh, be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits. And he's carrying a gun, right? Got the little gunner hat on, and Bugs Bunny keeps making a fool of him. Well, nope, he doesn't have a gun anymore, and I guess he's not even hunting rabbits. So what the hell is that all about? Well, he's just pretty much canceled because he's got a gun. What? But no. Look, kids grew up with pop guns and cap guns and all kinds of stuff, and we realize we can't have this anymore because there's been kids shot because they were looking for this guy, and they come around the corner and there's kids with a cap gun, looks just like a real one. He comes around the corner aiming it, and they shoot him in a flinch move. Other things happen, so let's not talk about that. But yeah, so that kind of makes sense, and trying to calm down. But hey, everybody was bang bang rock time cowboy Joe in the generations leading up to us, and oh man, that's the greatest generation of all. Talk about a goat. There's just people through the 50s, 60s, and 70s that took America to new heights. They took us from an airplane that was kind of flying and made it into a jet. Took nuclear power, went another way, started up computers, did other things, took us to the frickin' moon and back. Cancel culture. Let's watch a good movie, honey. What are you gonna watch? Let's watch Gone with the Wind. That great out of southern movie, Savannah, Georgia, and Terra Plantation. Oh, it's no longer available. Okay, how about Cops? Cops was canceled. Yeah, because bad boys, what you gonna do? Now they can't. Oh, no, see, ruined the narrative. Isn't it funny how things change in a short amount of time? Well, how about live PD shows? No, they're not gonna. Oh, all those are gonna die real quick now. Yeah, Law and Order is gonna have this weird directive going on, and always add mixed couples. Now they're gonna force this crap on you. Think I'm joking? How about Paw Patrol from kids? And they go, that might be next. And he starts looking in the Calendar Culper News. Well, and just like that, all the Democrats who were arresting people for opening their businesses didn't lift a finger to stop rioters from burning their cities. And COVID-19 was over. And even I'm smart enough to see through that, Jenny. Hypocrisyville. See the GIMP? Build bridges, not walls, but they built a wall. Say no to voter ID, but yet they want ID there. Welcome to Chaz. Nope, they've already changed their name. Can't even get their crap straight. Chop. It's a racist-free zone, guys. Yeah, but whites have to pay $10. Yeah, there's this whole video about how they're trying to say that whites had to pay $10 to the community fund to keep the other people going. I've heard things where they've taken other people and took their money and beat the hell out of them. Yeah, and really all it did was as a group of them runs off and gets a bunch of Big Macs and comes back. Capitalism sucks. Ban guns. Yet they do have guns, and somebody's already been shot there. Yeah, and I'll be damned if one of the signs isn't "Mom, send money, food, and sunglasses." And man, if I was a parent with a kid, I just don't know how I'd react. Really, I mean, it's. I hope nobody listening has a kid that's in this position or gives you this much trouble. Oh, the terrible teens can be terrible, but what the hell? Oh, this isn't no hippie and some hippie trying to put a rose or a daisy inside of somebody's rifle barrel. Oh, no, no, no. And nothing like a Kent massacres happened either, but they try to say that it's worse. Wait till they go over that footage where the guy couldn't have choked, because that's a common hold. Wonder what the blacks are going to do then. Whatever it does, Antifa's going to smother over it, though. Yeah. I'm confused. The riot season is over? Do we go back to pandemic mode or just wait for the Democrats to make up something different now? Kurt Russell is now back. Snake is back. Snake Plissken is. John Carpenter's Escape from Seattle. PC Cancer Culture update. Harper Lee and Mark Twain are banned by Minnesota schools over racial slurs. These PC dipshits don't realize that To Kill a Mockingbird and Huckleberry Finn were both transformational books that attacked racism. Right? No, that's, oh, shoot yourself in the foot. Just like whenever they took Laura Ingalls Wilder. Yeah, and it wasn't black people, I believe, in that one. It was an Indian. There was some person in the town that had a trouble with Injuns. Yeah, referred to it like that. And didn't like them very much. And hey, just, part of a book. But no, now all of a sudden she's cancel culture. While they used to read it to us in elementary school, nah. And the big award in America for most outstanding new artist, novel writer, was the Laura Ingalls Wilder Award. Not anymore. Nope. Ah, message of the day. Now think about this, people. Asking her to apologize for slavery would be about like asking her to apologize for Pearl Harbor. Well, not actually, because her grandparents could have been involved in Pearl Harbor, and this person's great-great-grandparents only have a 1% chance of ever being a slave owner. Yeah. But that's not the directive that you're told. Everybody had them. Now, it was called the Jewish slave trade for a reason, but nobody wants to look into that. You have to look away from those people. Those have been so oppressed too, because they told you they were. This girl's been out all day putting Trump stickers on rioters' cars, then sitting back and watching them destroy each other's cars. Oh, that was a great idea, girl. That's great. Yeah, some of these riots go around and put a bunch of Trump stickers on the people's cars that are doing it. Damn, that's a good idea. I've been quarantined for so long I need a little entertainment and had time to be creative. That was good. Here's Lee Da Vinci. And no, he's not related to Leonardo. He's a black man. I've never been called a racial slur by a white person until I became a Trump supporter. Uh-oh. If you think white liberals really love your black ass, tell them you're voting for Trump and see how they respond. These white liberals don't care about blacks, only about the black vote. Just realizing that? Wow. There's a lot of people who are getting woke to the Democratic Party and what they stood for and what they still show. We are told to remember the idea, not the man. Because a man can fail, he can be caught, he can be killed or forgotten. But 400 years later, an idea can still change the world, whereas that man is long gone. Hitler reacts to political correctness. Can't show that video. I remember there was a song, what is it, Rage Against the Machine or something. In the middle of it, they break into this part where these people are chanting, and there's this Hitler-sounding guy talking, and everybody roars and everything. It sounds like a Hitler rally, and everybody freaked out on it. And they said they were making fun of it. If you figured it out, it was a recipe to make date nut bread, and he was all like, 2 eggs well beaten, flour, must use sifted flour, and everybody go, and just, yeah, stuff like that. That's what it was. Hilarious. NPR mounting evidence suggests that COVID is not really deadly as experts thought. Brave celebrities fearlessly stand up against racism. Kurt Schlechter, Tucker Carlson Matters, and Charlie Kirk. Yeah, so it's not really that dangerous. It's really been attacking the elderly, and they almost made it do so because they even took COVID people and made them go into where the elderly were. So there's a directive right there. If you have any parents that were in hospice or anything like that, wham, boy, you got a real taste of it right there, and you'll believe their directives. No one else sees the amount, because it's something like, now don't pin me on it, something like 87% of the people who died are above the national average for life expectancy. Like if the natural life expectancy is 83 now, they were 84 or above. When someone tells me not to do something, well, we've all wanted to put our name in something and put our hands into it and stuff. And if your parents built a little bitty concrete thing and stuff, you can do that over in the little corner. We did that in ours when we made this special driveway in that we took and put a quarter pipe skateboard ramp in. But it's kind of cool whenever you do things like this, or you put palm leaves and stuff on it and let it half dry and then pull them off. Got to remember to pull them off so you don't want to leave it stuck in there. With leaf patterns and things like that, or perhaps even a dog that walked along, and when you walk along you see the pattern where a dog's walked before, so on. I lost track of my husband while shopping, but I'm sure he's been here somewhere, because he took all the giant teddy bears and made them humping each other. Writing a corporate email in 2040, starter pack. Dear customer, this is an open letter. COVID-19 bad, racism bad, white men bad, we're totes woke now. That's pretty much all we have to say. Here we have the Black Panther crowd. Democrats kneeling spectacle where they wore the scarves, as I said, were not really they're supposed to be. Defund our police, our communities are safe. Defund police to keep communities safe. He'd like to kneel down, but he won't be able to get back up again. She's pandered and can't get back up. I'm so sorry, but Republicans are to blame for this national turmoil? No, Gimp. You're one of the main players in it. And here we've got the Cory Booker, the bleached out, and he says we are all Spartacus. Fantastic. CDC at the first, looking at the flu, but then just 2 months later, CDC acted like, well, duh, and they got another guy, and he was, duh, and then he said one thing, and then Trump said it, and then he said he didn't say it, and then, oh yeah, so there's Elmer Fudd. He's, I'm offended. Are you offended? I'm offended. Y'all need to stop setting shit on fire, because your dumb sumbitches are going to need something to burn down when Trump gets reelected in November, and Jesse Smollett goes to trial, and they take that Floyd case and go to trial, and it didn't choke him, and then the guy from Wendy's, and there's no way in hell you're going to get away with the idea that he should have let him go. Oh, whoopsie for not shooting him in the leg or something like that, but he was shooting at him in the face from about 10 foot away. We will not have any association with the Confederacy, such as statues, monuments, military bases, SJW freakout. By definition, Chaz is a Confederacy. Triggered.